Hey, what's good, everybody? Peace and Paul. Thank you for joining me, whether you're going to be in the chat or you're going to hit the playback. If possible, hit me a little like if you want. If you haven't already and you like what I have to say, or if you don't like what I have to say, still subscribe. I'll really appreciate that. Man, it's just early morning here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I haven't been doing a live for a long time. I've been on other people's streams, but I really haven't taken the time to do any kind of lives. So, I wanted to touch bases with y'all, see how you're doing. Hope everybody is safe. We're going on D Jeff, my brethren. That's why I make sure everybody's safe, man. Hope everybody's keeping themselves clean and washing their hands and staying away from sick people or whatever. Wear your mask, wash your hands, whatever you got to do, man. Wherever you are, I hope you're gonna have a great day today. But yeah, man. Last night I took the opportunity to rewatch a fight that I haven't watched for a while. I rewatched the Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko fight, and that was pretty much the fight that set Anthony Joshua on this path that he's on now. And I remember last night while I was watching this fight, listening to Deontay Wilder commentate and seeing Shelly Finkel in the crowd, and I'm thinking to myself, Shelly Finkel was a slick dude. He made sure that, Vladimir Klitschko, who he was managing at the time, nah, man, I didn't hear any leaks about Biden and all of that. I'll look it up though, definitely. I'll look it up. But Biden is a well-known Dixiecrat. That's not different. All these people, as a black man, the John Henry Clark told us already. I don't know if you know who John Henry Clark is, but John Henry Clark said already in his speech that black people have no friends, man. We don't have no friends. You want a friend, look in the mirror. He said that to you on stage, and we keep looking for friends in all these places, and we're not getting it. But whatever. So anyway, I was watching this, and I was like, Shelly Finkel's in the crowd, and I was watching Shelly Finkel, and I was like, he's a slick dude, because here you have Anthony Joshua in his 19th fight, fighting one of the all-time greats, Vladimir Klitschko, but his baby, Deontay Wilder, who he was also managing at the time, is at the Sky Desk commentating. That really should have been Deontay Wilder fighting in a unification match for the vacant belts with Vladimir Klitschko at that time. And I wonder if Shelly Finkel, I know he's a devious dude, was expecting Vladimir Klitschko to pretty much wipe out Anthony Joshua and stop his train. And Anthony Joshua effed that all the way up. It's just interesting watching Shelly Finkel in the crowd. When Klitschko had Joshua in trouble, you could see Shelly getting almost like mini old man seizures. Like he really thought, oh, this is it. And Joshua recovered and stopped Klitschko. I just keep thinking that's when shit really changed. That's when you heard Wilder take a completely a really different tone towards Joshua. What up, Charles D? What up, man? Took a different tone when he went back to the States talking about somebody ducking him. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, if y'all want to jump on with me quickly, man, I'm not going to stay on long. I'm going to be gone anyway. I haven't even started my work morning yet, but I'm here. Here I am with y'all talking about boxing. And I just remember, Shelly Finkel, watch the fight and watch the crowd. Shelly Finkel is front row with Hearn and I think Loeffler and all these other boxing bigwigs. And why would a 19-fight novice? What's up, D Jeff? Good morning, man.
What's up, Brethren? Look, man, you already know I want to jump and run my mouth, but I ain't talking about that. Yo, Finkel, that other shit, but Finkel, man, bro, you look, any scenario we come up with, like this scenario you coming up with, right? This dude has shown us that it could be valid. Like everything you're saying right here about it could be 100% valid. Cause that dude, like he on Bob Arum level of snakeness. You know what I mean? He right there. He right there.
Like watch the fight, DJ, and I kept and like last night I was like, there's no justification why a 19 fight dude should have been in that ring with Vladimir Klitschko and not Deontay Wilder, who was at the table commentating, because Vladimir Klitschko was managed by Shelly Finkel, who manages Deontay Wilder. So I was like, why wasn't Deontay Wilder in that fight? That should have been a Deontay Wilder unification match, right?
Indeed.
I'm like, there's no justification for this. Eddie Hearn was like, well, hey, shit, you give me an opportunity, we're going to go. Hey, let's go. 19 fights, whatever. Let's just go. So I was like, Shelly Finkel really thought Vladimir Klitschko was going to stop that AJ hype train. Because even though Joshua had beaten Charles Martin, he wasn't really clocking on nothing in the States. Like, he wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? He beat Charles Martin. Okay, whatever. And he had a belt. But he wasn't really clocking on nothing. Joshua's name started ringing bells after he beat Klitschko. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Shelly Finkel really thought Vladimir was going to stop that hype train.
I bet you, Colin, that like you said, he was managing both of them, right?
Yeah.
So I bet you any money Hearn probably went to the table with this fool, and he was like, "Look, give me one of your champions, right?" Yeah. And Shelly Finkel, because remember back then, Anthony Joshua was just trying to collect belts.
Yeah,
that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to collect belts. So I'm pretty sure Hearn went to the table like, "All right, you got two champions. Let me get one of them." Mm-hmm. And Shelly was quick to pull the trigger with Klitschko. Like fuck Wilder. Yeah. You take Klitschko then. See if y'all can handle that, right? So what you're saying makes 100%. I mean, it's just 100% valid to me, because if the dude is managing both of them, you think Eddie Hearn is just going to go to him and ask him just for Klitschko? No, he wanted the belts.
Right.
At that time, he wanted the belt. So give me that belt. Give me that belt. I don't care. Let's get it on, right?
No, it's just interesting. Like, I tell anybody, go back and search for that fight. I want you to look at the crowd. When Klitschko had dropped Joshua, I think Joshua was gassed out in the fourth or whatever, or fifth, whatever it was. And Klitschko dropped him. Man, you could see Shelly and his guys were like, yeah, it's over, whatever. Yeah, I mean, well, Shelly in his own way, he can't move too fast, right? So, and then when Joshua stopped Klitschko, you could see like Shelly Finkel was just like, oh shit. He knew what was coming after this. He knew what was coming. And hearing Wilder commentate, Deontay Wilder himself should have been like, yo, this should have been me. You know what I'm saying? Because he was he was at the commentary booth like, oh, this is amazing. Because it was like a full Wembley Stadium to watch this fight. And before that, Wilder never sold out no arenas. He never did no big numbers. He never did nothing like that. Here you have Joshua 19 fights. So let me ask you something, DJ. F. Finkel, let me ask you something. What does it say about these two fighters' mentality? Like, Wilder knowing Shelly setting up the Vladimir Klitschko fight, shouldn't Wilder have asked like Shelly, like, hey, yo, what about me? I mean, the WBA is vacant. I'm a WBC champ. What about me? What does it say about the two fighters' mentalities that, dude on 19 fights is like, fuck it, let's go. Let's run it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm going to tell you what I say. And I'm a black man like you, so I could get away with saying this. That nigga's a porch monkey. And he always has been. He always has been, fam. Right or wrong. I mean, he a porch monkey. Whatever they tell him, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Finkel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Finkel. Right? Whatever they fucking don't take the 100 million. Yes, sir, Mr. Finkel. Yes, sir. Fucking porch monkey, fam. And he allowed them to ruin him at every angle. DeBella, Finkel, whatever, fam. Like, whatever they say, okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Finkel. And get in there and, like, I would have been in an uproar. If I'm a fighter, I'm trying to be the greatest, right? This dude never unified. That was his chance, right? He never unified, man. You had one belt. You had everybody running around saying you the greatest thing since sliced bread with one belt. Had opportunities, right? A lot of those opportunities that Eddie Hearn and Joshua jumped on. What the fuck was Wilder? Where was he? Like he wasn't trying to collect none of those straps. He was comfortable fighting Duhopis and Spilka and all of this nonsense. He was comfortable with that. He was comfortable with defending his title against guys ranked 49 and 120, 112 and shit, right?
I don't like. It's like because I remember even that I think he had made some mention about he was going to fight Joseph Parker, and that fight didn't happen. And
Never materialized. Never.
I'm like, someone showed some contract. I think it was unbiased. I showed some contract that they tried to offer Joseph Parker some fight, but I was like, how is it possible then that like y'all don't hustle enough for y'all didn't hustle enough for Deontay Wilder? Like, how is it Eddie Hearn out hustled y'all for that fight? How? How did Eddie Hearn put up more money for you, more money for that fight than you? And then start the narrative of Joseph Parker duck Deontay Wilder. It can't just be that. Like last night really made me, because no, you can't find Deontay Wilder. And it's like, watching the fight last night, DJ, because again, it's after the Klitschko fight that Anthony Joshua's name took off. Because it did decent numbers in America on Showtime. Like, it was like, early too. It wasn't even fine.
I saw the fight.
Right? So it really made me now go back and like, yo, we're not hearing from Wilder no more. This dude's career is just, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? As you said, never been involved in unification for whatever the reason. Maybe you didn't offer Joseph Parker enough money or whatever. And I wonder, let me ask y'all in the chat, Santos, Charles D, whoever else is in
What's
here.
up, Andrew?
Why wasn't Deontay Wilder in that ring against Vladimir Klitschko? And instead it was Anthony Joshua, 19 fights. Did they think Vladimir Klitschko was too much for Joshua? You know what I'm saying? I mean, 19 fights? There's no justification for that, D. You know what I'm saying? And you at the commentary desk talking. Fuck you doing? Right.
But one thing about this that I've always gave a little praise to the UK culture for is, and we ain't seen this just with Joshua, just the culture. We seen these guys, like, they'll put their fighters in the fights.
Yeah.
It's not like here in America, where you got the Tank Davises that they still claiming he's the best, but he ain't done any. Like, they'll put those guys in the fights, man. You know what I mean? They'll put them in the fights, the tough fights. It's not this, must not go. They still have the I guess the mindset of old school boxing. Like, let's achieve. If you lose, you lose. We'll move on from there. Right? You lose the fight, run it back. Like Floyd used to do.
Right.
He lost to Ruiz. No, fuck that. I don't want nothing in between. Because remember, a lot of people were saying when Joshua lost to Ruiz, that was a bad loss. Maybe he should take a fight in between and all of that. No, he went right back after his shit, fam. Right back after his shit. So hey, man. Hey.
Now I see somebody like Lopez who won his belt from Coleman, and he was just like, no, I'm gonna fight this dude who y'all said is the number one. Well, some people said is the number one pound for pound. No, I'm gonna fight him. I don't want to fight nobody else. I want to fight this dude, right? And that shines a light on people, as you said, like Tank, who Floyd Mayweather said, Lomachenko is old, and he gonna have to, fight all the fights he got to fight. We're gonna wait. We're not gonna fight him right now. That shines a light on people like that. So Anthony Joshua was like, nah, let's fight. I'm 19 fights in. Who cares? I'm gonna fight Klitschko, one of the all-time greats. You know what I'm saying, Olympian and all of that. Teofimo Lopez said, okay, cool. I'm going to fight Lomachenko, who's going to go down probably as a Hall of Famer. Is Lomachenko a gold medalist? He's a gold medalist. Yeah, he's a gold medalist. Of course he is.
Yeah, he's a shoo-in for the Hall of Famer.
So and Teofimo Lopez was like, no, let's go. Let's run it. right? What does it say about somebody like, as you said, Tank, and even my guy Haney, my guy Haney,
You already know I done gave him enough heat. I ain't even
right?
gonna miss
I'm
that.
saying because again, just watching the Joshua Klitschko fight, it just made me think about a lot of different things. Like, I mean, he did this, Teofimo did this. People like that have a different mentality,
Yeah.
right? I'm not here for no long time. I'm not going to be here for no long time and waiting 30, 40 fights in to fight somebody of consequence. Let me fight now. If I lose, I lose.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that has to do a lot with the fighter and not the promoter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How much advice does the fighter have to take from the promoter unless you don't run your own career? How much?
Ask Canelo. Because he'll say, fuck you, no. Right? Ask Crawford.
Right?
Because he'll tell Bob Arum, fuck you, no, right? Like, we could say whatever we want about Crawford signing to the wrong place or whatever. I don't really go along with that. Chin Smoke, what's good with you? Tahaka, what's up, babe? Look, this is the thing. I think that these fighters, like a lot of us always say this. Charles D always say this. If these fighters really want to fight, they can get it.
Yeah.
They can get they can push the heat, right? Because the reality is, bro, at the end of the day, these fighters, get with these promoters. But Eddie Hearn said it perfectly. They work for the fighters. It's not the other way around. The fighters don't work for them. They work for the fighters. So the fighters nah, man, let's try to get this fight. Nah, I hear the sense on that, but let's try to get this fight. I want to be great. And I'm not going to disrespect Haney right now. He's 21, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he has time. He does have time. So I'm not going to just all out dump on him. But if you think about this last series of events concerning Devin Haney and the fact that Bill Haney and Devin Haney came out and said, no, they're not going to go the PBC route, right? And I get that. Why does it seem eerily reminiscent of what the PBC does or what they was doing with Haney? These recent events. You're talking a Gary Russell and a Gamboa, and you guys are trying to pump it like it's great fights? That seems like the shit Tank was doing. Smaller guys moving up, older guys on their way out the door. Remember, that's what Tank was doing early in his career. Because outside of Gary Russell and Yuriokis Gamboa, who does he have? If this dude is the next Floyd Mayweather, why are we talking Gary Russell and Gamboa, man?
What I can say about Devin Haney is that after the Gamboa fight, he gonna have some good fights coming up. He gonna have the Luke Campbells or Ryan Garcia. He gonna have Linares or Fortuna. But it's just I don't know. Well, I'll do a stream on the whole WBC thing because I think the WBC put Teofimo in a position where he shouldn't have to be. Where you have people like me who are now saying, "Hey, yo, I don't like this whole deal," because if Devin Haney's not the champ, neither is Jamal Charlo. You're not going to just take one email champ's accolades and not take the other, right? So you put Teofimo in a position where people like me now have to question him, and he shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's not his fault, right? It's top rankers like, oh, we gonna get the franchise. I despise this franchise shit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So Teofimo shouldn't have to. I'm not here to jump on Teofimo Lopez, right? My thing is, I don't like this shit that the WBC is doing at all. I don't like it. You're now making me question other people when I shouldn't, because I consider Jamal Charlo the WBC champion. I consider him a WBC champion, right? And so if I can't consider Devin Haney the champion, then I can't consider Jamal, because I don't rate no franchise championship. I don't like that Canelo took that. Where'd D go? Did D drop? Oh, he's back. D.
I don't know.
You're back.
You back.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. So Yeah, Devin Haney gonna have to take some smoke for this Gamboa fight. That fight ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
After this though, he gonna have to fight. I think Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, those are solid fights for Devin Haney. Linares or Fortuna, solid fight. So he has at least 2 solid fights if it's not gonna be Teofimo. You know what I'm saying?
Yvonne Mendy, Coleman.
Right.
I'll take both of those.
He has solid fights coming up. He can't give me no nonsense because, as I said to you, watching Vladimir Klitschko versus a 19-fight novice in Anthony, and Anthony Joshua looked like a novice in that fight. He looked like a dude who just came to fight, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna lose this fight." You know what I'm saying? You could see Klitschko was clearly the more technical dude. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if he could do that at 19 fights, Teofimo Lopez can do this or whatever. I'm not gonna be as easy. Huh? I didn't hear that.
16 fights. My guy got 16 fights.
16 fights. And he shut out Lomachenko for what? 6 straight rounds? Shut him out? You know what I'm saying?
He did better than, I don't mean no harm and disrespect. I know a lot of people won't want to hear this, but just with what you're saying right there, Joshua took on Klitschko, 19 fights, but the journey won't complete. Teofimo completed the journey in 16 fights, man. And that's just the facts.
Let me tell you something. So I'm not going to be as easy on people. I wasn't easy in the first place, but I'm not going to be easy on people. Because watching that fight and watching the Teofimo fight, I'm like, y'all don't have no excuses then. Unless, because of course there's an interview out there with Bob Arum telling Eddie Hearn, oh, Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. I don't like Bob Arum for that shit. Because if that's the case, that means Terrence Crawford signed with the wrong promoter too. Right?
God.
If you're telling me Devin Haney can't fight your fighters because he signed with the wrong promoter, you're mad at that. Then that means the PBC is justified in what they're doing to Terrence Crawford. I don't like Bob Arum for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to be fair, and it pains me to say this because I'm one of the people that give Bob Arum more heat than anybody else. You know that. But to be fair, is Bob Arum spits dirt on any other promotional company, any chance he gets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it ain't top rank, he's spitting dirt on them.
No, I don't mind. That's cool. But my thing is, if that's your logic, that Devin Haney can't get the Lomachenko fight or whoever fight because he signed with the wrong promoter, that then means also Terrence Crawford signed with the wrong promoter. So he can't get no big fights in PBC, which I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't agree with that logic. But if that's the logic Bob Arum wants to spit out there, then it applies to Terrence Crawford, who supposedly can't get no fights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just saying that Vladimir Klitschko fight, let me see here. Angel says Vlad beat AJ ass up until you got that. Vladimir Klitschko was beating the shit out of Anthony Joshua. He was boxing him up. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, what does it look like for people like Tank Davis, who had his opportunities, by the way, and whose promoters or handlers said, we are not going to fight Lomachenko? I remember seeing an interview from Tank, and I'm only talking about Tank because he has a so-called high-profile fight coming up, right? Against Leo Santa Cruz. What does it say about you that you out here fighting Leo Santa Cruz and Teofimo? You've been in this game longer than Devin Haney and all these people. How old is Tank?
25.
25.
And he's been in 2 years longer than all of them.
Right. So Tank shouldn't really be considered a prospect right now. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't no fucking prospect.
That's a grown-ass man who's been a champion at another weight class. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what does it say that you're out here dragging up Leo Santa Cruz up to 135? Is it 135 or is it going to be 130?
No, they're fighting at 130, fam. He going back. It's another smaller guy. Like, this is why I'm going to tell you what it says about Tank Davis. Everything we already knew. That he's a Floyd and Ellaby stooge, right? Mm-hmm. He's no more than what Wilder was. Whatever they say, he runs with it, right? He doesn't push to get better fights. He's comfortable with living that facade, with being basically a star that's nothing. Because I don't argue that he's not a star. For some reason, Adrian Broner was a star. So I'm not gonna argue that he's a star, but that's all Tank fans have on their side. Look at Tank, he's a star, he's gonna make money, that's all they have. When you start talking about achievements or accomplishments, they just run back to the money, the stardom, the process. What process? He's 25 years old, two-time champion, two-division champion, I mean, and y'all still talking about a process? The process only works for prospects.
That's right.
Once you're out of the prospect phase, is no more process, fam.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I was watching a Ring IQ video this morning, and he was saying like, apparently the Teofimo Lomachenko card did very well, right? And well, it wasn't pay-per-view, right? What was it? ESPN Plus?
No, that was a free fight. ESPN.
That was a free fight.
Free fight.
If I can get Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko in a unification match for free, I'm supposed to have to pay what for Leo Santa Cruz and Tank? Yeah, they didn't learn their lesson from the Charlo pay-per-view. They didn't learn their lesson.
Nope, they didn't.
I don't understand.
They're not paying a fucking dime for that Tank fight, just like I did. You know, well, I did pay some money for Charlo, but not a lot. But still,
no. Hold on. Well, let me be real with you. If I could have, I would have probably supported that fight because I like the fact that Jamel was in a unification. I like the Jamal versus Sergey fight for Jamal. I like that fight for him because he needed that fight. So I would have supported that. I would have supported because to me it was worth it overall. You got somebody like Eddie Hearn in the UK who's trying to put like a shambles of a card of Derek Chisora versus Usyk on pay-per-view. And it's like, that's not cool. What's that? People just watch Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez for free. That's not that. I mean, this pay-per-view model. This is why he was correct in saying that the zone model might be a bit different, where you pay a little every month for multiple sports, or you just go free TV. This pay-per-view, $80 and all that shit might be going out the door, right?
Right.
So that's why again, all of this kind of stemmed from watching Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua, and the fact that. Let me move on to my other topic. Where is Wilder, man? You know what I'm saying? Right. All this is happening, and I'm not hearing from remember, I haven't done a stream in a while. I've heard y'all talk. Right. And it's offensive to me that I can't hear from the former WBC king who came on and had everything to say about Anthony Joshua, had everything to say about Dillian White and all these other people. Even Jarrell Miller, free Big Baby, by the way. Y'all need to give my guy a break. Let the man make money to pay Jay Prince off, man. Y'all need to
tell him to stay off the drugs.
Yeah. I'm saying it's disappointing to me to see a man like Wilder, who's been so brash and been so outspoken and all of that, all of a sudden just not saying nothing.
It's crazy to me, bro. Because how you gonna say I want a body in the ring, right? I want to catch me a body in the ring. You that bold and that outspoken to say some shit like that. Now you quiet, but I don't know if you see on Mark Unrival's channel. Shout out to Mark. He put up a clip of AJ talking about where's Wilder at, right? So I don't know if you've seen this, but AJ made some really good points on this, right? He was saying like, okay, it's one or two things with Deontay Wilder. Either he is in the lab, he's in the lab right now, and everything's fury. They studying his movements, they doing this, they blocking out the outside media. He's focused, right? Super focused. Or he's sitting by the pool with his head in his hands, like, damn, I was once on top, now it's all gone. Like, to me, that's profound. And that's some real shit what AJ said. Because to me, that's what it is. Either they're blocking out the media, because social media, the media, all the bullshit that's being said. I say a lot of bullshit about Wilder. Maybe they blocking that out, keeping it from his focus, and the focus is fury only, and they're in the lab, and this is why you don't hear anything from him. Now, this is coming from AJ, and it makes sense to me. Or He at his house, moping around with his hands in his head. You know what I mean? Maybe that. It's one or two things, and like I'm like, damn, that makes sense. What AJ said, right?
Listen, but then even if you in the lab, bro, even if you in the lab, you can't have all this shit swirling around you and not address nothing. At least come on Instagram and make one of your stupid videos about your king is here, your king is well. Is my king still well, sir? How goes my king? Is my king still well? Because you came on Instagram and said your king is here, your king is well. You saying I'll rise again. Now,
Yeah,
bro, you know your people need to know if the king is well still, because you firing Mark Breland, firing people who actually cared about you. I'm saying people who you chose not to listen to. I'm saying, you know, if y'all get a chance, go and listen to Liam Mohammed with a dude called Xavier Porter and Shoot the Five podcast, right? And Liam Mohammed is apparently, pretty close to Mark Breland. All these good dudes was in the same era or whatever. And Liam was like, how you gonna talk all this pro-black shit and you fire the one black dude around you? You know what I'm saying? Who tried to train you, dude who you chose not to listen to, by the way. It's like anybody who cares about you, cares about your future, you fire. But you don't fire JD is, I think it was you, D. Jeff, who made the point that if there really was something in Fury's gloves, Jay Diaz was in the room. Jay was in the room. How you gonna fire him? Liam Mohammed said, look, man, you don't just fire Mark, you fire everybody. You change the whole setup. You know what I'm saying? How you not gonna fire Jay Diaz? But you fire Mark Breland, a dude who tried to teach you something?
Exactly. That's what I said, bro. That's exactly what I said. I said it right on my live.
That shit is disappointing to me, even though I don't really support Wilder no more. But disappointing to me because, bro, you don't just chase this man away. If you would just listen and implement anything this man has said. Because if you go back to the Antonio Tarver interview after the fight, where he says Wilder looked so limited. He was right. Wilder looked limited. Like Tyson Fury wasn't doing anything super high level in that ring, DJ. He wasn't doing anything super high level. He was walking Deontay Wilder down. Like Deontay Wilder wasn't even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wasn't even a factor in his mind. So how is it that you're not listening to Mark Breland, who was essentially also a pretty basic, meat and potatoes fighter, just like Wilder could be, but he was effective in what he did. When I watch all Mark Breland fights on YouTube, Mark Breland didn't do anything super, super, super high level, but he implemented his basics quite well. You know what I'm saying? And you fire this dude. But who are you going to listen to now? Malik Scott? I'm offended that this dude is quiet because he chooses to come out only when he sees the downfall of other people.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just me.
Yeah. And then that whole video, clip that you was talking about when he said, I am king, right? I came out with a statement after that. I said, man, first and foremost, he ain't my king. And that shit is funny to me. So he more like the court jester. Because that was funny as hell. He like the court jester with that shit. Yeah, twerking. Like he worried about twerking and putting those kind of videos out there, letting us hear, well, what's the issues with you? I don't want to see you shaking your ass like a little bitch. But yeah, what you got to say, fam?
Man throwing his ass in a circle.
Right.
Nah, Black, you're correct. It's just, it gotta be ego issues. It gotta be ego issues. Bro, I watched Anthony Joshua come out and speak to his fans right after he got mauled by Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua was on the street of New York. You know what I'm saying? Talking to people. You know what I'm saying? And as you said, DJ, that man said, I don't want no other fights in between. Book the fight for December or whenever, enforce the rematch clause and let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those things are offensive to me because when Wilder projects this this persona that he's this alpha male and I'm this, I'm that. It seems more like to me now, more so than any other time, that shit was just insecurities, man. You was trying to overcompensate for something else.
Bro, you know what? Colin, you was like Wilder, the egotistical side of him, or Black said it, right? The egotistical side of Wilder, right?
Yeah.
Another trait that follows people that's egotistical like that, they lack integrity, fam. They lack integrity, right? With Joshua, after he lost to Ruiz, that video he came out with, or even Dillian White when he lost to Povetkin, they showed integrity, fam. Look, man, I lost. Well, I have to get back up, get in the gym, and come back and win it. But I lost. That's integrity, fam.
Do it again. That's all I can do. Lost the fight. What do you want me to do?
I mean, it is what it is. These dudes, and I want to say just this one thing, because I don't want to pick on Tank, right? Teofimo Lopez, he didn't just put Tank on notice. He put all of these motherfuckers on notice.
That's right.
I will go way up to Canelo. He put Spence. He put all of these motherfuckers on notice because he gave us a glimpse. He gave us a bit of nostalgia about old school boxing.
That's right.
So he's put everybody on notice.
That's right. Stop
fucking around and get it done. Old school boxing.
I think this year, you know, Jamel Charlo and Teofimo Lopez.
Yes.
This year to me, man, let me tell you something. Them two fighters, I got a lot of respect for 2020.
Yes.
I got big respect for them fighters. Big respect for them. Because them dudes said, nah, I'm not going to be, you know, slow rolled or whatever. Let's just go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be slow rolled. Let's just go. Let's just do it. I just said Teofimo put it. Let me tell you something. That fight had a lot of sent shockwaves across boxing. Shockwaves. Yep. But at least he should. If these other fighters didn't look at this like, oh shit, I can't fool the public no more. Because this dude at 16 fights is the best in his division in 16 fights. 16, be the all-time, well, I don't know if all-time great, but one of the greats in this generation, right?
He
now.
Be the Hall of Famer.
Be the Hall of Famer.
Sure. Hall of Famer.
That's right, Black. He did duck Andishwood and got smashed by overnight cokehead. You goddamn right. A dude who he said was a cokehead. He said that. A pillow-fisted cokehead. I'm saying Teofimo, you know, Teofimo really did himself a lot of favors. And hopefully Bob Arum gives him his due and promotes him properly because this dude is willing to fight. And if he's going to move up to 140 to fight the Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor winner, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good.
I'm 100% good with it. And I was just saying it on my other live the other day because these idiots, man, come up there talking about some. He got to go through Haney. He got to go see Haney. And I said, hold up. Let me tell y'all something right now, fam. If this dude goes up to 140 and challenges the winner of Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, y'all have to understand what this kid is doing.
Yeah.
He took himself from a win-win situation, because with Lomachenko, he was in a win-win situation. Had the kid lost to Lomachenko, he lost to Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shame in losing.
I ain't no shame in that. I mean,
so he takes himself from a win-win situation right back into another win-win situation. If he moves up and fights, if he loses, so what? He loses. So I don't want to hear shit about him having to see Haney. How the fuck does he have to see Haney when Haney has to do something first?
I think if he goes to 140 to not fight the winner, then I'll be like, well, you should have just stayed and fought Haney and just call it that and just like deaded all the conversation. But if he's like, I'm going to leave this division and I'm going to fight the winner of Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, I'm 100% in agreement with it. But if he stays at 135 to fight, was it Jack Catterall? No, Jack Catterall is at 140. No. So 135, if he stays at 135, the next fight for him should be somebody like Devin Haney.
Yeah,
right?
it should be. It
Fight
makes
Devin Haney.
makes the most sense. Now, this I will say, it makes the most sense that if you don't move up, then you should kill all the questions and misnomers,
That's
right?
all.
Because if you're not going to move up to 140, we already blame. I think everybody is comfortable with blaming Suleiman for the
Yeah.
all the foolery, right? But there is a question there because of the things that Suleiman did. So
That's
if you're
right.
not going to move to 140,
Just go dead those questions.
then
That's it.
just go ahead and kill all
But
the misnomers. And to me, it's a great fight. It's probably the
hell of a
best
fight.
fight at 135. So
Wait, hold on. You think it's a better fight than him and Tank?
yes, this is why. This is why I say that. I think that it's a better fight than Haney, because Tank Davis blew all of his chances. And Devin Haney has, what does Tank Davis offer to Teofimo Lopez and what he's doing? What does Tank Davis offer? I think he knocks Tank Davis little ass out. I don't care what anybody says. I think he knocks Tank little ass out. He'll be the first to knock him out because Tank Davis has regressed. Right? All of these Tank Davis fans can holler what they want, but when you have the success that you had in the amateurs, and then you come to the pros and you're knocking everyone out, but these are not guys that are pushing you, right? Everybody shitting on Teofimo Lopez for the Nakatani fight, but my idea on the Nakatani fight was that was a fight that made this kid better because he faced adversity. He faced things that he'd never faced before. We've not seen Tank in a fight like that. Everybody he was going, his best fight, Pedraza. I picked Tank over Pedraza comfortably back when he fought Pedraza. That was the best fight on his record. So my thing is this: how do you get better if you're not fighting the guys that will push you?
Right.
Nakatani pushed him, right? So when we look at Devin Haney, he has something to offer. Teofimo could kill all of the questions, and then it's good for Devin Haney.
That's right.
Tank don't deserve a shot to be 4-belt undisputed, because if he should win, now you got all of these Tank. I told you didn't tell a shit about Tank Davis. Devin Haney actually, in my opinion, since he's holding that strap, he deserves to get a shot at 4-belt undisputed because that helps both of them. It's mutually beneficial. Because Teofimo can kill all the misnomers, and of course Devin Haney has a shot to be 4-belt undisputed. But with Tank, it's only beneficial one way, to Tank Davis.
That's right.
So fuck Tank Davis. I think that Devin Haney's the better fight. Now, will it be the biggest fight, the more money selling fight? Probably not. But I think that Devin Haney's the better fight.
Okay. But hey, yo, man, I mean, again, I want to encourage y'all in the chat. Go back and watch the Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua fight, and look at Shelly Finkel in the crowd. You could see him, boy. He was drooling out one side of his mouth, thinking, "Oh, the AJ hype train gonna stop here. It's gonna stop tonight. Oh boy, it's gonna stop tonight." When that shit didn't work out, look at how the whole narrative of Deontay Wilder towards Anthony Joshua shifted. It was like they told Wilder, "You need to start disparaging this guy. You got to tie yourself to him, but you got to tie yourself to him in that he's ducking you now." You know what I'm saying? Go back and look at that fight. I told you, just watching that fight last night was just like, it sparked in my mind, Anthony Joshua had no business fighting Vladimir Klitschko. Why was it so easy to make that fight with Anthony Joshua? He wasn't no mandatory for none of them belts. He was the IBF champ, right? Klitschko wasn't no champ. Those belts were vacant. So which means the manager of Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder should have come together and made that fight. And that manager was the same person, Shelly Finkel.
Yeah.
Okay. He had no business in that fight. And Deontay Wilder, no, at this point in his career, I wonder if he's thinking about any missed opportunities.
No, he's a porch monkey. Just like I say, he's a porch monkey.
You don't think Deontay Wilder reminisces like, that should have been me?
You know what? I don't know, but you might be right on that. But this is what I say about Wilder. Good for you, you stupid ass nigga. Good for you, because y'all, I don't have no sympathy. The thing is this, Iron Cone. It's good for him because y'all sat back and y'all watch Anthony Joshua go collect belt after belt. It's not like you didn't have the opportunity. You was too
Right.
busy worried about do hoppers. You had the opportunity. They could have made moves. They could have fought Charles Martin. They could have made moves. Finkel was manager. You could have fought Klitschko for the vacant straps. But you sat back and you watched Joshua do all of this. And then you want to say later down the line, like you said, a narrative that he's ducking you. No, you ducked greatness. Joshua didn't duck you. You ducked greatness.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let me wrap up soon, man. I got a couple of last things. I don't know if it's true. I heard a few people. I don't know if you talked about, but Mark and a few other people talked about this apparent pullout by Mr. Kubrat Pulev. And I don't know if it's true because it did not come from Kubrat Pulev's team. It came from.
It's from what I understand, real quick, Con. From what I understand, it's the source on this is Mike Carpenter.
But I heard Dean White say it. Dean White said he heard Pulev is injured.
Hey, man.
Dean White's on video saying it. But again, so Mike Carpenter said so?
Well, that's the source where I think it was Unrivaled that was telling me that this comes from Carpenter. So, well, Carpenter is 50-50, fam, right? It could be true or it could be some more foolery. But I will say this real quick. I know you get ready to step off. If Pulev pulls out and Wilder and Fury don't fight, right? I think that the next fight should be Fury and Joshua.
I think so.
Right,
I think so. But would because obviously the last time Kubrat Pulev pulled out, the IBF elevated Carlos Takam into that spot. Now we know who's after Kubrat Pulev, Mr. Charles, Prince Charles Martin, the God on earth.
Underrated fighter.
Would you? Hey, Charles Martin hasn't looked bad. He hasn't looked bad.
Underrated. He's an underrated fighter.
He has not looked bad. I'm not going to shit on you. Would Charles Martin be a better fight for Anthony Joshua than Kubrat Pulev?
Yes.
See?
I think so. Like, I think he's underrated, fam. I've said this on a couple of my lives. I think that Charles Martin's underrated. I think Charles Martin beats Pulev. I do. I think Charles Martin beats Pulev. So, yeah, it's a better fight. But the IBF will be under my microscope because if you think about the IBF, their only praise that I can really give them is that they don't play around with the mandatories. They will strip you over the man. But look at some of the guys that they have listed as mandatories. What the fuck was Carlos Ocampo, a domestic fighter who hadn't done nothing? How did he become a mandatory for Spence? Right. So yeah, they will enforce their mandatories, but look at the guys that they put.
It's very strange,
right?
Like Dramata and these people,
stupid mandatories. So I will say this about the IBF: if Kubrat Pulev pulls out, then they try to institute tackle as mandatory and put the pressure on Anthony Joshua, then fuck the IBF too, because now y'all just getting in the way of foolishness. Y'all know better than Suleiman in the WBC, because if the guy that you guys labeled as mandatory pulls out, then hold off your mandatory shit for 4-belt undisputed. Don't keep getting in the way of 4-belt undisputed.
Yeah,
real shit, bro.
I agree with that. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna hold you out for much. I just want to say one last thing. Anything you want to say, D? I'm gonna close off now.
Yeah, shout out to my brethren, Iron Calm. Keep doing your thing, fam. Appreciate you having me on. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man.
Appreciate you coming on, D. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I want to say one last thing. Demetrius Andrade, man, I don't give a fuck about this fight you got coming up, all right? I don't know who Dusty Rhodes is. Is it Dusty Hernandez? The only Dusty I know is Dusty Rhodes, all right? You talk all this shit about you're not going to fight this person, you're not going to fight that person. And I saw a boxing scene interview where you said you're not going to fight Liam Williams, you're going to sit out for 2020. Now here you are fighting Dusty Hernandez. You got to get your shit together, man. This is some bullshit. I don't agree. You should have just fought Liam Williams. You should have just paid to get Liam Williams come over to fight you on this card and call it that. This fight ain't shit. I know Frank Warren said that the negotiations are already underway, and after this fight, you're gonna fight Liam. But I don't care. This fight ain't shit. I don't care about this fight. You need to get your act together, sir. You know, I get that Charlo. Y'all talking about Charlo should fight you. You know Charlo not gonna fight you. He not gonna never fight you. I don't know why, but he not gonna fight you. PBC not gonna give you that fight, and you need to get your shit together, sir. I don't care about this Dusty Hernandez fight. That fight ain't shit, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
To add on to that Demetrius Andre shit, I've been calling them doo-doo for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So can't be saying what Canelo need to do to Demetrius Andre when he's another motherfucker that's not doing shit, right? Yeah. So we can't put heat on Canelo. Now we got to put the heat on Andre. What are you doing?
Yeah, Andre gonna have to figure some shit out because Canelo ain't gonna be fighting no time soon. It look like, and I said it before on another stream before. You know, while I would say Canelo, if he's holding a belt at 160, should fight at 160. I'm saying Canelo ain't fighting right now, bro. For whatever reason, he's in court. He's at 160. He's not fighting no 160s right now. All right. So you, Demetrius Andre, have to start fighting the people that are available to you. And you have quite a few people outside of Jamal Charlo. I don't want to hear shit. This Dusty Hernandez fight ain't saying nothing. Stop looking for Canelo. He not available right now. Okay? And Triple G, well, he need to just retire. Whatever. Anyway, y'all have a nice day. Peace out. Stay safe. And to my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, and SARS, baby. Peace.